Michael Crosby, welcome.
Thank you.
Do you support the Royal Commission in Victoria?
It's not a question of whether I support it or not. I'm supposed to be non-political in this. We'll cooperate with the Royal Commission, absolutely. I am sceptical about Royal Commissions. There's been 4 into the CFMEU. They've all failed. The one pragmatic thing that governments have done about fixing up this union is to appoint an administrator. And, you know, I think we've done, so far, a really good job. There's more work to do.
Does a Royal Commission, though, need to also examine, first of all, the role of the Premier and her government, what they knew, what she knew and when?
Look, the encouraging thing about the announcements from the Premier of Victoria is he's talked about a Royal Commission into the construction industry. Now, the problem I've got as the administrator is we will fix this union up. It'll be back in the fold of the union movement as a powerful, strong, ethical union. That's not going to last if it's sitting in an industry riddled with corruption. And if this Royal Commission in Victoria can focus in on that problem, by all means, look at what the union's done. And what the union in the past has done is appalling. But also look at how do we fix up the environment in which that union operates. That's the critical thing.
Just a simple question about this. In the time that you've been in the position, have you seen any evidence that the Victorian government knew the extent of the criminality in the construction industry in Victoria?
I've had very little contact with the Victorian government. They've left me to do the job. So that is what we're doing.
And in your assessment, has the corruption that you are tasked with uprooting, getting rid of from the CFMEU, has it caused costs in the construction industry to increase?
Yes, inevitably. I mean, somebody is clipping the ticket on the way through. Some of the corruption is about who gets to do the work. And these are rich contracts because they're big projects. But, you know, there is corruption there. People have put a figure on how big that is. And that'll be one of the things I'm sure that the Royal Commission will look at. But from a union point of view, if there's any corruption, that's just a complete betrayal of the members' trust. That's what we're angry about.
Yes, but is it also wrong for the former Premier of Victoria to say that corruption in the industry has not caused costs of infrastructure building in Victoria to increase?
I hadn't heard her say that.
She has said that specifically.
That's difficult to accept.
She's wrong.
I'd have to say that, yep.
How much of a grip does organised crime still have on the construction industry in Victoria?
It's difficult for me to say about that. They have very little grip on the union. We've moved off 27 leaders, 150 staff members of various kinds have gone away. We've got a whole new team in there rebuilding that union from the ground up. I think there is still criminality there because some of these fixers are there holding themselves out as able to have some influence about who gets contracts and who doesn't.
Organised crime worked out a way to make money out of the construction industry. Right. How do you stop them coming back?
That's a question for the Royal Commission.
Not a question for you too?
Well, yes, we have ideas about the way in which you regulate this industry. Frankly, the CFMEU hasn't got a huge amount of credibility at the moment about reform proposals. We want to leave it to the Royal Commission. We want to leave it to the governments to come up with a way in which you regulate this industry so these people are deprived of clout.
Reports say you intend to suspend John Setka's membership for 5 years.
Yeah.
Why does he deserve to ever come back into the CFMEU? Because the rules limit me to a maximum period of 5 years. That's as much as I can do. Setka... Don't you need to change the rules then?
Maybe.
Well, who else is going to do that if not you?
We are changing the rules. We're bound by the Fair Work Act. and we'd have to look at how that interacted with the Fair Work Act. Look, 5 years, you're expelled from the union. You can't come back into office without 3 years as a member of the union. So it's really 8 years before he can ever hope to come back, and it's not going to happen. Now, he's not the only one. I've got my eye on a whole pile of these people that I'm looking at how I charge them with abuse of power, breach of the rules, because I never want them to come anywhere near this union.
How do you personally respond to John Setka's threats against you?
I take them seriously. There's not much I can do about it. Now, the police have taken out the Victorian equivalent of an AVO. Okay, that's got to have some force. I'm basically ignoring it and moving on.
Mick Gatto said he wanted to meet and talk with your predecessor, Mark Irving. Have you spoken to Gatto? Would you meet him?
No. Why would I associate with anybody like that and give him credibility?
There was one leak recently from inside the administration where information was used to target a former official. How do you guarantee the safety of people whose testimony you need to understand what went on and how to fix it? That
was an appalling leak, and we were beside ourselves about that. Now, we handed all the details of that over to the Hawke Task Force, the Victorian Police Task Force. They are conducting a detailed criminal investigation. We're cooperating with that. We don't want to get in the way of that. We have some hope that they will get to the bottom of that. And when that happens, I hope criminal charges happen, but boy, anybody involved in the union who's behind that, they are gone from the union forever.
You said that you've made progress in moving people out of the CFMEU. What's your message to those delegates who are still resisting the clean-up?
Well, all they're doing is prolonging the administration. That's the stupid thing about this. The government has a spotlight on us. They are not letting us out into administration until I can say to them with a straight face, the culture has changed, the delegates are on board with being part of an ethical, powerful union. At the moment, I can't do that because in Victoria particularly, we have an organised opposition. Every day that goes by, they're taking shots at the administration over and over and over again. It's ludicrous. There were things wrong with the way the union was run, terribly wrong. We're fixing it up. Just get on board. Fight the administration or support the union. They're the two alternatives.
Michael Crosby, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks.